The first important element is nitrogen, and these are mineral elements. Nitrogen mineral elements. Nitrogen source. Nitrogen is available to the plants from the soil in the form of nitrates, nitrate, and ammonium ion. And this nitrogen, it has a role, or it is abundantly present in meristematic cells and metabolically active cells. And this nitrogen is a constituent of various types of biomolecules present in plants like proteins, amino acids, nucleic acids, enzymes, vitamins, and hormones. Next to carbohydrates, fats, this nitrogen is a very important element, and it is a constituent of various biomolecules present in plants, and these are the various biomolecules where we can observe the presence of nitrogen. And the next element is phosphorus, macroelement of phosphorus. This phosphorus source it is available from the soil in the form of H2PO4 or H3PO4 phosphoric acids రూపంలో నేల నుంచి లభ్యమవుతూ ఉంటుంది. And its main role in plants is they involve in phosphorylation reactions. ఎక్కడైతే ఫాస్ఫరస్ సంబంధించిన రియాక్షన్స్ ని ఫాస్ఫోరైలేషన్ రియాక్షన్స్ అని అంటారు. And this phosphorus is a constituent of cell membranes and some proteins, and nucleic acids also phosphorus acts as a backbone. And the next element is potassium. This potassium is absorbed in the form of potassium cation from the soil. And regarding its role in plants, you see the potassium is a very important element. The first role is it is abundant in meristematic tissues, buds, leaves, and root tips. And it is also it maintains anion-cation balance in plant cells. And it is also essential for the opening and closing of stomata. And it is essential for protein synthesis, and it activation of enzymes, and it maintenance of turgidity of plant cells. And with regards to calcium, calcium is absorbed from the soil in the form of calcium divalent cation Ca2+. Regarding its role, this is the role. The role, first one is it is required by meristematic and differentiating tissues in plants. And the second is it has a role in cell division, where in the cell division we can come across with the formation of this mitotic spindle during metaphase. So for the formation of the mitotic spindle, calcium is required, and it is also essential for functioning of cell membrane, and it is also it activates some enzymes, and it also involved in photolysis of water. Photolysis means splitting of water molecules in presence of sunlight with the liberation of oxygen during photosynthesis. And it is a constituent of middle lamella. As you all know, middle lamella is a separating matrix which separates the neighboring cells, and that middle lamella is made up of calcium pectate. So for the formation of the calcium pectate, calcium is required. And with regards to magnesium, magnesium is a very important macro element, and it is available to the plant from the soil in the form of magnesium divalent cation Mg2+. And regarding its role, it acts as an activator of so many types of enzymes which are involved in photosynthesis and respiration, and it is also involved in synthesis of DNA and RNA. And chlorophyll is a constituent of chlorophyll molecules. In the chlorophyll molecule, there is a porphyrin ring. So for the formation of the porphyrin ring, this magnesium is required. And as you know, when we observe the ribosomes are made up of two subunits. So for the combination of these two subunits also, this magnesium is required. And with regards to the sulfur is absorbed from the soil in the form of sulfate anions. And this sulfur is essential for the formation of disulfide bridges and stabilization of the protein molecules. And with regards to its constituent, it is a constituent of some amino acids. There are 20 amino acids in plants which are involved in protein synthesis. Out of the 20, there are 2 amino acids which are called as sulfur amino acids. Those are, the first one is thymine, the first one is cysteine, second one is methionine. These 2 amino acids are called sulfur amino acids, where sulfur is a constituent. And the sulfur is also useful. It acts as an activator for several enzymes. And it also a constituent of vitamins like thiamine, biotin, coenzyme A, and also a electron carrier pyridoxine. FD means pyridoxine. So, coming to the role of micronutrients in plants. Micronutrients are, there are 18 number. The micronutrients are ferrous, manganese, zinc, copper, boron, molybdenum, chloride, and nickel. All these are these 8 micronutrients are available to the plant from the soil. So all these are mineral elements. There are no any non-mineral elements in micronutrients. Coming to the function or the role of these micronutrients, first of all, you will get rid of this iron. Iron is available to the plants from the soil in the form of ferric ion, Fe3+. And this ferric, it is interchangeable, ferric to ferrous, ferrous to ferric. Out of these 2, ferric form is the most active form, and plants normally absorb the ferric ion. And regarding its role of iron, it acts as an activator of an enzyme called catalase. Catalase is an enzyme, and this catalase, it dissociates hydrogen peroxide into water and oxygen. So that is the action of the catalase. And iron is also essential for the formation of chlorophyll. So magnesium like chlorophyll formation, iron is a very important element. And iron is a constituent of proteins. In most of the proteins, iron is present, and it is a constituent of FD. FD means pyridoxine. FD is pyridoxine. It acts as an electron carrier, and also in cytochromes. Cytochromes are iron-containing enzymes which are involved in photosynthesis and respiration. And coming to this second element, manganese. Manganese available to the plants in the form of manganate cation, Mn+2. And coming to its role, it activates enzymes which are involved in photosynthesis, respiration, and nitrogen metabolism. In all these these are the 3 important metabolic activities found in plants: photosynthesis, respiration, and nitrogen metabolism. And all these 3 metabolic processes are controlled by some enzymes. And all these enzymes are activated by the presence of this manganese. And in manganese, it also acts as an activator of IAA oxidase, indolactic acid oxidase, that activator of enzymes. And manganese is also useful for the splitting of water molecules to liberate oxygen during the process of photosynthesis. And coming to the next element, zinc. Zinc is available to the plants, or zinc is absorbed in the form of zinc cation, Zn+2. And regarding the role of this zinc, it acts as an activator for the enzyme carboxylase. This carboxylase enzyme, it is involved in the carboxylation process by the addition of carbon dioxide. And it is also, zinc is also useful for the synthesis of auxins. Auxins are the hormones which are useful for growth and development in plants. And in such auxins, one of the important auxin is IAA, indolactic acid. So for the formation of this IAA, zinc is essential. And coming to the next element, copper. This copper is normally absorbed by the plants in the form of cuprous, cupric ion. Like iron, this copper is also available available to the plants in two forms, cupric and cuprous. This cupric form is more active, and regarding its role, this copper it controls overall metabolism of plants. చూడండి కాపర్ కి ఎంత ఇంపార్టెన్స్ ఉందో ప్లాంట్స్ లో జరిగే అన్ని మెటబాలిక్ యాక్టివిటీస్ లో ఈ కాపర్ ఏమో ఇట్ ప్లేస్ ఎన్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ రోల్. సో ఓవరాల్ మెటబాలిజం, and it also activates these redox reactions. Redox reactions means reduction, oxidation, and both these combinedly they are called as redox reactions. Redox reactions are catalyzed by the copper. And coming to the constituent, copper dentro untundi plants lo. Copper is a constituent of an enzyme called cytochrome oxidase. This cytochrome oxidase is abundant in mitochondria, and this is actually involved in photosynthesis, involved in respiration. Sorry. And coming to the another, plastocyanin. Copper is also a constituent of an enzyme called plastocyanin. It acts as an electron carrier during cyclic during photophosphorylation reactions of photosynthesis, and it is abundantly present in chloroplast. Cytochrome oxidase is present in mitochondria, that is involved in respiration. Plastocyanin is abundantly present in the chloroplast, that is involved in photosynthesis. And both these enzymes in both these enzymes we can observe copper. So copper is a constituent of these two. And coming to this boron, element boron. This boron is available to the plants in the form of borate ions. Borate anions, BO3 minus 3 or B4O7 minus 2. These are the borate ions normally present in the soil, and these borate ions are absorbed by the roots. And coming to the role of this boron, the first important function is this boron is essential for the uptake and utilization of calcium. So calcium శోషణలో బోరాన్ ఉపయోగపడుతుంది. And the second, so boron is an important element that is normally present in the soil in the form of borate anions. Borate anions like BO3 minus 3 or B4O7 minus 2. So the roots absorb those borate ions. Plant lo boron importance enti? The first one is boron is essential for uptake and utilization of calcium. Calcium శోషణలో ఉపయోగపడుతుంది. The second important function is boron is essential for membrane functioning. There are so many cell membranes are present in plants. So for the proper functioning of the cell membranes, this boron is very essential. And the third important function is, as you know, during the pollination, pollen grains are received by the stigma of the flower. And these pollen grains, they germinate on the surface of the stigma. So for the germination of the pollen grains, boron is essential. So boron ki pollen grain germination ki alaga role untundannamata. So pollen germination is an important function performed by this boron. And the fourth function is the cell elongation and the differentiation. These are the two important aspects of growth and development in plants. These two important aspects are performed by the presence of boron. And the most important function of this boron is essential for the carbohydrate translocation. Carbohydrates are synthesized in the leaves during photosynthesis, and those carbohydrates, they are transported to the roots with the help of this boron. So boron forms a complex. So boron combines with the carbohydrate molecules, and those carbohydrate molecules are transported to the roots. And that process, as in our previous class, we know about this translocation, transfer of food materials, long distance transport of వస్తుందండి. ఆకుల్లో తయారైన ఆహార పదార్థాలు రూట్కి చేరాలి అంటే చాలా ఎక్కువ డిస్టెన్స్ కాబట్టి దాన్ని లాంగ్ డిస్టెన్స్ ట్రాన్స్పోర్ట్ అంటాము. దట్ ఈస్ ఆల్సో కాల్డ్ యాస్ ట్రాన్స్లోకేషన్, and that translocation is facilitated by this element called boron. So these are very important functions of the boron. And coming to the molybdenum, next element, molybdenum. This molybdenum is available to the plants in the form of molybdate divalent cation, MoO2 plus. MoO2 plus. This is the cation. molybdenate cation. And regarding its role, molybdenum plays a very important role in nitrogen metabolism in plants for the synthesis of amino acids and proteins. And it is a constituent of an important enzyme called nitrogenase and also an enzyme called nitrate reductase. So there is in this chapter, at the end of this chapter, you can come across this problem called nitrogen metabolism, where you can appreciate what is the function of this nitrogenase and nitrate reductase. So in these two enzymes, molybdenum is an important constituent. So these two enzymes are mainly responsible for this process called nitrogen metabolism. And coming to this element called chlorine. Chlorine is available or chlorine is absorbed from the soil in the form of chloride anion, Cl minus, chloride anion. These chloride anions are absorbed by the roots. The role of chlorine determines solute concentration. Plant cells lo solute untundi. The solute concentration is determined by the chloride anion. And it also maintains anion cation balance in plant cells. Plant cells lo anions untayi, cations untayi. Cations ఎక్కువగా ఉన్నప్పుడు ఈ క్లోరైడ్ anion లోపలికి వెళ్ళి it maintains the equilibrium of anion cation, thereby an electric equilibrium is attained in the cell. ఇప్పుడు కూడా కణాలు plant cells ఇప్పుడు కూడా equilibrium లో ఉండాలి. cation charge ఎక్కువ ఉండకూడదు, anion charge ఎక్కువ ఉండకూడదు. So whenever cation charge is more, these chloride ions from the soil, they enter into the cells so that an equilibrium will be set up. And the third important function is chlorine is essential for water splitting in photosynthesis. Photosynthesis lo food material తయారవుతుంది మీకు అందరికీ తెలుసు. Another important function of this photosynthesis is liberation of oxygen. Oxygen వాయువు బయటకు విడుదలవుతుంది. For the liberation of this oxygen, the water molecules they have to undergo splitting. నీటి అణువులు విచ్ఛిన్నం అవుతాయి అన్నమాట. For the splitting of these water molecules in presence of light, that process is known as photolysis. ఈ ప్రాసెస్ ని photolysis అంటారు. Photolysis is an important function or important part of photosynthesis where oxygen is liberated out. For that photolysis, this chlorine is very essential. And coming to this one, nickel. This is the 17th element. Previously, the number of essential elements is only 16. But recently, this element nickel is identified, and it also identified as an essential element. So it is called as the 17th essential element. మనకి 2 marks questions లో వాటి వేస్తూ ఉంటారు. What is the 17th essential element in plant nutrition? అంటే nickel is the 17th element. It is recently identified. ఇటీవల దీన్ని గుర్తించారన్నమాట. నికెల్ కూడా ప్లాంట్ కు ఉపయోగపడుతుందని. నికెల్ is absorbed in the form of nickel divalent cation from the soil. నేలలో ఉంటుందన్నమాట నికెల్ cation. And these nickel cations are absorbed by the plants with their root system. There are two important roles. ఇక్కడ స్టిల్ నికెల్ గురించి పరిశోధనలు ఇంకా జరుగుతూ ఉన్నాయి. ఎందుకంటే రీసెంట్గా కనుక్కున్నారు కాబట్టి ఇది కంప్లీట్ కాదు. అప్ టు దిస్ యాజ్ దిస్ థింగ్స్ స్టాండ్స్ నౌ ఇప్పటి వరకు రెండు రకాలైనటువంటి పాత్ర ఈ నికెల్ పెర్ఫార్మ్ చేస్తుంది ప్లాంట్స్ లో. ద ఫస్ట్ రోల్ ఈస్ ఇట్ యాక్ట్స్ యాజ్ an activator for the enzyme urease. Urease అనే ఒక ఎంజైమ్ ఉంటుంది for the liberation or for the formation of ammonia. And that urease is activated by nickel, and that is an important enzyme which takes active part in nitrogen metabolism. And the second important role performed by this nickel is it reduces disease resistance in some plants. Disease resistance అంటే వ్యాధికి నిరోధకత. Plants కి చాలా disease వస్తూ ఉంటాయి by bacteria, virus and fungi. And whenever nickel is abundant in plants, this nickel gives sufficient resistance to the plants against the infection by these things. So it reduces disease resistance in some plants. So dear students, this is so far we have discussed the role of essential elements in total. Role of essential elements in plant nutrition. These essential elements are of two types: macronutrients and micronutrients. We have discussed these things in two discussions. First one is role of macronutrients. Previously, we have discussed that thing. This is the role of micronutrients. These are 18 number, and you have to write down all these things in your notes, and so that you can appreciate that element, where from it is obtained by the plant, and what is its role, and what is the where it is a constituent, ఏ పదార్థంలో ఆ ఎలిమెంట్ ఉంటుంది. So with this we come to the end of this lesson under the our chapter mineral nutrition. Thank you.